You may be asking yourself a lot of questions why so very many people are dying of COVID-19, yet others are surviving from it. In my journey today, I'll be hosting the ICS College Principal, Mr. Jared Ocheng, Kisumu branch, who will tell us more how they have managed to curb the spread of coronavirus. Follow me, we find out.
Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's yet another day that we are meeting in ICS TV morning show. And my guest today will be Mr. Jared Ocheng. Mr. Jared Ocheng will be here discussing about coronavirus, and we shall be discussing about how the school have managed to curb the spread of coronavirus. Thank you so much for joining us. And my name is Kasim Mustafa. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. How are you?
I'm fine. So, we are here to discuss about how you are managing the spread of coronavirus in ICS College. Can you please tell us how you are doing that in ICS?
Thank you, Mr. Kasim, for that. We have various measures that we have put in place. And the first one is, actually the most basic one is discipline. We have inculcated that to all our students, and we made it clear to them that every step that we make towards curbing coronavirus is discipline. And that's the most basic, in the sense that when a student has discipline, then all regulations, all instructions that are given towards curbing the spread of the virus will be very easy to follow. So from that basic now we go to the observable features that we have mounted and also put in place to ensure that we get it right now. And that includes having several hand washing stations where all our students and visitors have to clean their hands and ensure that they sanitize if they have not gone for that option. We also have those regulations that have been provided by the government, like keeping social distance at all times. The other one is donning of face masks and avoiding as much as possible physical contacts like handshakes, hugs, and even kissing. Understand it's a college and we are dealing with most likely adolescents and young adults, and so we have to ensure that these measures are well in place and well followed.
Thank you for that. So, have there been any improvement since, because when Corona entered or when Corona came, there was a lot of indiscipline cases where you find a student not putting on his or her mask. Have there been any improvement since you entered the school?
Yes, sure, for sure. There has been a great improvement that we have observed generally. It's important to remember, Mr. Kasim, that when the pandemic first touched down in Kenya, there was a lot of stigma and fear generally across, and students, to a large extent, even feared coming to college. But when you look around, you must have seen students are many, they come, and that's one indicator that there is a lot of improvement, because we've managed to mobilize them to treat the pandemic as something that we can live with as long as we follow the instructions that have been given. So I can say yes, and I can affirm that there is a big improvement when it comes to following of the regulations.
Okay. There's those who have who like breaching the protocol set by the Ministry of Health. What are the measures you take as the school head to ensure that nobody breaches or nobody breaks the protocol of set by the Ministry of Health?
Thank you. I think that's a nice question. We have basically three. three measures that we put in place. The first one, and which I know you might not expect, is a very strong guiding and counseling. So we've made it mandatory that our students need to be guided, they need to be counseled on the importance of following these regulations. And two, we've instructed all lecturers and other support staffs and also administration in general to ensure that literally any visitor is not attended until all the measures have been observed. For example, we don't encourage crowding at the reception. And if we notice that there's likely to be some crowding, we first halt our services. We ensure that all the regulations are observed, and then the services are then rendered. The same applies in classrooms. The lecturers don't start their lessons until all the regulations have been put in place. And the third one is now disciplinary measures. Because again, we are in a society, and definitely there are those who may not find it very easy to follow instructions. So what we do is that we just inflict a bit of discipline. Those who find it hard maybe to keep the simple rules that we have put in place, we ban them from entering. We then talk to them at a particular designated area, and we make them understand why we are very strict on that, and those are what we are using so far.
And when you talk of the measures you take for those who breach the protocols, who are the most reluctant? In terms, we have students, we have lecturers, we have guests. Who are the most reluctant?
Well, a section of students, especially those who are joining us for the first time, so I can call them new students. And this is because of lack of enough campaign on what they need to do when they are within the college. Those who have been with us for longer are already very much aware because they have gone into the guidance sections, they have gone into sittings where we have explained to them the importance, and so they find following very easy. But again, those who are green, those who are coming for the very first time, taking in mind diverse backgrounds from which they may be coming from, they tend to be reluctant, and sometimes they even find it harder to follow because they are not used to it. They are finding the strictness for the very first time. Yeah. But after some time, they get into line and they follow suit. Another group is the visitors. Remember now, this carries the entire age. We have the young, we have the old. One or two at times forget to clean their hands, depending on the situation on the ground. They just forget, maybe they're in a hurry, but we always ensure that we try to bring them back into line, and we remind them of the importance of following these instructions.
And have you confirmed any case, maybe of corona, any student, any lecturer from ICS?
No. I have to confirm that we have not, and we thank God for that. We have not confirmed any case, but should we have put measures in place to ensure that any casualty that may arise is well taken care of, and this includes having a well-set isolation room that is well furnished with all the necessities like the first aid kit, bed, and everything that is needed. And we have set that strategically to ensure that if we have any suspicious case, we let the person get isolated, we seek medical help, and then everything else follows from there.
There is, when the government announced about jabs, have there been anyone who have been vaccinated maybe in this school? Have you confirmed any?
Well, I think that's a good question again, and when the government began to roll out the idea, the whole idea started from Nairobi, and you can remember there was a procedure that was being followed, starting from the particular age, and then it went to the teaching fraternity, and now we go on expanding with time. In Kisumu, we have not yet done that, but we appreciate that there are now facilities that are ready to ensure that the jabs are given, and we have a program in order to ensure that all our teaching staffs and all other staffs who come into contact with students get the jobs. And very soon, we are going to start rolling out that, and then we will follow it out with students. And again, our hands are tied because there is a lot of jam in these government facilities, and that is also discouraging a section because you go there, you find it is full, and maybe you are not getting the services in time.
Okay, finally, as I conclude, Sam, what is your stand on those people who will be found breaching the protocols set by the Ministry of Health?
Well, I believe on the idea of embracing each other. A big percentage will go by, we expel, we refuse to accommodate them, but I will take a different stance. My stance is whoever who breaches set guidelines are supposed to be advised, cancelled. First, they need to get educated. They need to be given that mass awareness. They need to be made aware of the dangers. And through that counsel, actually they'll realize that following these regulations is for the benefit of their own selves. Now, once that has happened, I can assure you that there will be a lot of improvement. As opposed to when you find such a case and you decided to chase the client away or the student away, you've not helped. You've not helped. But when you talk to that person and you let him know or you let her know of the importance of doing that, then I can assure you that you are building a nation.
Thank you so much for your time, Sam. And for our viewers, thank you so much for taking time. Thank you so much.